I'm trying to think of the song it's from. It's from Innocent. I love Taylor Swift. Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. My name's Enola. If you are new here, then welcome. It's great to see you. Don't forget to hit subscribe on this video. Give it a thumbs up, and if you have been here before, then welcome back. So today I just wanted to do a little video because I have mainly been posting some cover songs on my channel and I haven't really done many like speaking videos, so I thought I'd kick off with just a little one to check in and sort of explain how I'm feeling at the minute and what like being in lockdown throughout the past however many months it's been has like taught me. Now obviously we're not actually in a full-on lockdown at the moment. You can venture out into the world again now and do things more freely. But I just kind of wanted to have a little chat about some of the things I learned during my time in lockdown, and I'm sure a lot of people can probably relate to these things and probably went through a similar sort of situation. I'm assuming so anyway. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of share personally how I coped with things, what it made me realise, how my perspective on certain things changed, and how it's okay to sometimes have a change of heart, a change of mind. So if you are new here and you're not sure what my channel is about, I mainly talk about lifestyle, theatre, TV and film, performing in general, and I also do cover songs and have a general chit chat about a few deep topics and then other lifestyle things as well. So if that all sounds like your cup of tea, then stick around, and like I said, don't forget to hit subscribe so you can stay up to date with all of my content, and it's great to have you here. Let's dive straight into the video. So lockdown, of course, it was a thing that just swept the globe. COVID-19, it's been a whirlwind of a year, and instead of like focusing on all the negatives and things like that, I do think a lot of positives have come out of this. And I'm not talking about the actual illness itself, I'm talking about how we've had time to kind of reflect on ourselves and our lives and our lifestyle and things like that. If you relate, then great. If not, then that's okay as well. But these are my personal thoughts and experiences that I've had throughout the time that we were locked down. So, number one, in no particular order, the first thing that I have reflected on a lot during lockdown is to actually slow down a little bit. And I mean that as in slow down my mind a little bit. My lifestyle is a bit crazy. Like, I'm a performer and I do different contracts here, there and everywhere, as well as also working a part-time job and then doing a few other things on the side like gigs and different events and things like that. I also do have my days where I have time off, which is great. For the most part, I use that to be creative, and obviously I started this YouTube channel, but I do suffer from anxiety quite a little bit now and again. And I'm always having a lot of things like race around in my mind. Being self-employed, sometimes you've got things that are stable, and other times, you know, you can have the rug pulled from beneath you and you're kind of in the foggy abyss wondering what's happening next. And people that do have a bit of anxiety within themselves like I do, I think it sometimes can be a bit overwhelming when you have a lot of things rolling around in your head. So if lockdown taught me anything, it was to kind of take a step back from a busy-ish lifestyle and to sort of not let things get to me as much. And if I was feeling anxious about anything, to just kind of have that time to breathe through it and just relax and just kind of shut yourself off from the world a bit. Upon reflection, have realised that it's okay to do this. Yeah, number one is slow down. I think it's been perfectly okay to kind of just stop and take some time for self-care, basically. What I'm trying to get at is we're always expected to be busy, to be doing something, because if we're not being proactive, then surely we're not going to achieve things. For the most part, being proactive is obviously a positive, but sometimes self-care and just like having time to relax and switch off is also just as important. You know, have a day of doing face masks and reading magazines, whatever floats your boat. I just think having time to slow down and switch off, and maybe not looking at social media or looking at your phone, and kind of being present with just with yourself and just slowing your mind down. I think that's been really important. That's something I've definitely learned during this lockdown period. I'm going to try not to ramble too much, as I end up doing massively long videos of me just talking and talking and talking and talking. So we're going to move swiftly on to number two. And this one involves like friends and family and making an effort in staying in contact and in touch with people a lot more regularly. Again, disclaimer, this is just my personal experience during lockdown, my personal thoughts and what I feel. Okay, so yeah, basically I think a lot of people can probably relate in terms of doing Zoom catch-ups with family and friends. So at this point we've all run out of quizzes and quiz ideas, we've all run out of conversation topics on Zoom. But during that crucial time, I think I personally discovered that actually during my normal busy lifestyle, I sometimes forget to check in on people, family members, friends that don't live near me, things like like that I should probably make more effort to talk to more regularly, to remind people that you're there for them and you're still there as a friend, and even though you're far away or whatever, you are always there to talk and you always want to know about their life. I think that this day and age it's quite easy to scroll on Instagram and Facebook and just like see what your friends and family are up to, give a little like and maybe a little comment, but you know, you kind of like, because you can see what they're doing, you can see how they are from what they're posting, we tend to forget to actually genuinely give them a phone call or a video call and actually speak to them. That's where the positives of technology really come in, because it's going to keep people connected during a really difficult time, and then it's going to make people realise just how important it is to stay connected. Basically just to make more effort in staying in touch with people more regularly and just letting them know that you're there for them and that you love them and you miss them, and it's okay to say all these things. Moving on to number 3 of things that I've reflected on during lockdown and what I've learned is it's okay to change your mind, start new things, have a change of heart, no matter what age you are, no matter what life stage you're in. I truly feel that it's okay to reevaluate some aspects of your life, and I probably assume that a lot of people would have found this during lockdown as well. You may have been on furlough and not been able to go to work, and maybe you've then decided to look into something that you were thinking of looking into but have just put off and put off and put off. I don't know, I've got my hand on my hip, like, what is this? Hey, so you've put it off all this time and you're like, I've wanted to start something, or you've been too afraid to start something, or you've maybe felt like you're not at a right point in your life to start this thing, or maybe you're a bit too old in your head now, which is a pet peeve of mine because I battle with this all the time. And then being in lockdown and just like having the freedom to kind of be creative and do anything from the comfort of your own home, and having that time, it's all about having that time. It's made me realise that it is okay to start something new. I started this YouTube channel just before lockdown and stuff. For example, I was actually afraid to post like cover songs because I hadn't recorded from home before and posted it online for the world to see. And then I thought, do you know what, if not now, when? So I did it for me. I've not done it for anyone but myself because I like being creative, I like singing, I like playing around different songs. And so during lockdown I decided to start doing that more. And there's many other things, like I've changed my mind about things I want to do in terms of different jobs and like different work things. Obviously I want to still stay in some things, but then there's other things I've branched out into doing alongside. I've just had a look at a few more areas that I maybe wouldn't have looked at if this didn't happen. So there's that. I always have this complex about my age and that I'm like getting too old to try certain things and getting too old to have a career change. And actually, if anything, lockdown has taught me that it's never too late to start anything, because you could get to like 50 years old or something and have a change of heart at that point in life, and then it's still not too late to do something that you've always wanted to do. Why not? You only live once, you only get one shot at life as far as we know. So why not start now? Why not do it? Why just take the leap of faith, feel the fear and do it anyway, and if it works out, amazing. If it doesn't, that's okay. That doesn't mean that you can't start something else. Like, I think that there's always time for new starts in anything, and if you truly feel in your heart of hearts that you want to do something new, don't let anything like age, which is just a number at the end of the day, don't let something like that stand in your way. That's what I have personally found. Turning 30 this year, I'm not going to let that be a negative thing. It's actually a positive thing. It's a great milestone, and it still doesn't mean that it's too late to start anything new or to continue doing stuff that I've wanted to do and not quite achieved yet, you know, stuff that I'm still on a path towards. Like, it's still not too late. So yeah, anyone else out there that's been feeling like they couldn't have started something new, then I think differently. I think it's never too late to have new Septembers, which I think is a Taylor Swift lyric. I'm trying to think of the song it's from. It's from Innocent. I love Taylor Swift. By the way, Taylor Swift's new album is a dream. Just thought I'd slip that one in there. It's never too late to have new Septembers, and September, what a great month, because that's when my birthday is, so it's like it's fate. Moving on to number 4. What I've also reflected on and realised in lockdown is just how important it is to get out in the fresh air and amongst nature. Now, I've always loved it when I've gone to like the countryside or for a nice hike or walk, but I never did it often enough. But having those daily walks in the beginning of lockdown where you could literally only go outside for like 20 minutes of the day, that soon became really important to get that fresh air so you weren't cooped up at home for too long. Well, that's carried on, like driving to different places, like different picturesque places in the UK, and then going for a walk, just being around nature, hearing the birds sing, hearing like the flow of water, like a nice nearby stream or waterfall, just like hearing the wind in the trees. Like, I know I sound like a Disney princess right now strolling through the forest, but honestly I think that just being around like nature and just like grounding yourself and taking your shoes off and feeling the grass beneath your feet, and just like, especially when we had that lovely hot weather and it was just like so warm and lovely, you know, British summertime sort of vibe, and it kind of like takes you away from the reality of a few things and just like calms your mind, calms your body, as well as it's good exercise to go on long walks, of course. I just really have found that being around nature has been really calming for me personally. So it's definitely something that I have reflected on and realised I need to do more of, so even when life returns to fully normal, I'm going to make sure I take that time to go on walks and just be in this wonderful world that we live in. Yeah, that's a really good one. I love that one. Another little thing that I've learned during lockdown is that, you know, routine, as much as it has its pros, can always have its cons, and to be in a constant like similar routine, it may work for some people, but for me personally, I've realised that, you know, I was getting in a bit of a rut just before lockdown, doing similar things each day, just kind of going through the motions. Like, I would still be creative and be doing like different things, but in terms of like work and like what I did in the morning, what I did in the evening, it was getting a little bit routine-y sometimes, like to the point where it was kind of like, basically I think I went through a little phase where I stayed a bit more in my comfort zone. I've been really glad of this whole lockdown thing to help me realise that I needed to get out of that. Basically what I'm trying to say is I can do something different in each day. Even if I'm doing the same kind of job, for example, for like a few weeks, I could put something different into each day to kind of shake it up a bit, because I think I work better if I have like a little bit of routine but then a little bit of spontaneity as well. So I've wanted to like branch out and just do a few more like random things here and there. Literally as mundane as like getting up and having a different breakfast in the morning, taking a random dance class that evening, like online or whatever at the minute, but you know what I mean, just like little things that maybe I wouldn't have thought to do as much of just before lockdown, whereas now I've become a lot more aware of it. So yeah, just like mixing up my own personal routine a bit, make every day completely different in a way. Yeah, so that's been good. And to help that as well, I've had this brand new diary, which I'll show you because it's actually really, really good. So this is my Legend planner, and it is absolutely amazing. Like, I can't believe I've not had this in my life before. This has been another thing that's really helped me with like kind of mapping out certain things that I want to do. Basically you have like your week, and then you've got like a main goal for the week, you've got like habit tracker, so you can write down some habits you want to get into and like whether you did them each day. There's a work to-do list, a personal to-do list, and then there's like this week's wins, and then like how I'll improve next week, and then there's a bit of space to kind of do like a bit of mind mapping here. So if you really enjoy like journaling, mind mapping, creating vision boards, writing down goals, you know, you can do things like that, like diagrams and lists and things. I thrive off like vision boards and things like that, and just like having cool little plans in my diary here, there and everywhere, so I've got things to look forward to, and just like adding little habits and little other things that can make my day different each day and things like that. So yeah, that's been a godsend. There's been quite a few things like, oh this is a nice bit of lean on this, like, yeah. So yeah, there's like an endless list really of all the things that I've been reflecting on in lockdown, but they were just like a few main ones. And I think like being restricted to staying at home for the majority of the year this year, it's made me really want to travel more as well. Like, I really want to get out there and see more of the world. I really do feel like life is so precious, and just how much I want to explore and have adventures, and you know, not fixate too much on things that don't matter. And I've also learned that it's okay not to be okay, and if you ever do feel down or stressed or anxious, then it's okay to take that time to have self-care, and just knowing it's okay to feel those emotions, and as long as you then, you know, acknowledge them and then put them to the side and move on. There's been ups and downs during lockdown. One minute you can feel, you know, like you're flying high and life's good. The next minute you can feel very uncertain. It's been like a bit of a crazy time, but it's literally been a whirlwind roller coaster for me personally. There has been a lot of positives that have come out of it, and I just wanted to share with you today those positive things that I've been reflecting on and that I'm definitely going to incorporate into my lifestyle a lot more. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you can relate to it in any way, drop me a comment. I always love to hear from people. Check out my channel for all my cover songs I've been doing recently, and when you get to the end of this video there'll be links to click on, so make sure you stick around to the very end. And don't forget to hit subscribe and click the bell for notifications of when I get a new video. And yeah, so bye guys!